Welcome back to the Pool Point, where we talk pool care with a splash of humor and a whole lot of straight talk. Today's topic, evaporation versus leaking pool. Because if your pool's losing water, it's not always what you think. So here's the situation. It's a hot day. You go out to check your pool, and bam, the water level is lower than it was last week. The panic sets in, and you immediately think, oh no, my pool is leaking. And you call me up all frazzled, asking, why is my pool losing water? But let me tell you, before you start plotting your pool's funeral, let's talk about evaporation first. That's right, folks. Water evaporates. It happens. The sun is a relentless beast, and when it gets hot enough, that water just disappears into thin air, especially if you live in a dry area or it's been a hot week. Evaporation can be the real culprit. Now, before you start eyeing your pool with suspicion, here's a fun fact. Pools typically lose anywhere from a quarter inch to half an inch of water every day due to evaporation, sometimes even more, depending on the weather conditions and how many water features you have running. So if you're seeing a gradual drop in the water level, that's probably the reason. Think of it like your pool sweating it out under the sun, just trying to cool off. But now, let's say you notice that the water level is dropping way faster than you expect. It's noticeably lower, and I mean really lower. If your pool is losing more water than an inch of water a day, that's when we might need to talk about the possibility of a leak, a real leak. So how do you tell the difference between evaporation and an actual leak? Simple test. Turn off your pump, mark the water level with a piece of tape, and let it sit for 24 hours. If the water level drops, even when the pump isn't running, you might have a leak. But if the water level drops about the same as it would normally during a hot day, then congrats. Your pool's just getting a little too much sun. Now for the folks who are convinced their pool is leaking. Here's something you should know. Leaks aren't always obvious. Sometimes it's a tiny crack in the plumbing, a small hole in a liner, or even a faulty valve that's letting water escape. If you suspect a leak, it's time to bring in a professional to track it down. I'm not saying your pump's secretly plotting its escape, but yeah, a leak can be sneaky like that. Remember, most of the time, what you're seeing is just a natural process of evaporation, and it's not the end of the world. Just add a little water back in and keep an eye on it. However, if you're going through gallons of water every single day, well, that's when you should start calling in the experts. So, in conclusion, if your pool's water level is dropping gradually over time, don't panic. It's probably evaporation. But if it's dropping at a rate that would make Niagara Falls jealous, it might be time to check for leaks. Either way, the good news is you've got options. So that's it for the Pool Point. Until next time, remember, your pool's not going to just disappear, unless, of course, you let that leak get too serious. Until next time, remember, just keep swimming.